So, just heard from race winner Georgia Gregg in that women's elite race. It was a fantastic performance, and she is an athlete who has just gone from strength to strength, and yeah, really starting to see the best of her, doing a great job, obviously based down in London, the Kiwi, and already talking about future plans to step up to those longer distances and then maybe step indoors as well. So, over to the men. And we think, by the way, I will try and bring you, just to summarise before I introduce these men, the results from that women's race, and of course who won that team prize, were they inside the bounty time or the bonus time of 63:30. So I'll try and keep you up to date there, but we better focus. We are, what, 5 or so minutes away from this elite men's race. I've seen them all warming up around me, tensions are high. Athletes just going through their sort of pre-race rituals. It's amazing to see. Some like to take themselves off and really kind of focus and get in their own head. Some like to be submersed by it all. They're chatting, they're laughing, they're as relaxed as possible going into this one. I do think this is a race, you know, at this stage in the season, it's a race where, and we've got that team atmosphere as well, where there's not too much pressure on these men out here. The pressure that they'll have on themselves is pressure that they put on themselves this afternoon. I say this afternoon, this evening, and let's have a look then. Let's go through a few of these men. I know Josh Gritt is a late dropout. James Hennigan, by the way, he's an athlete who's going to be competing for Wales. They had a very strong team. Ossian Perrin due to go, but he also a late dropout, running that Monument Mile tonight up in Scotland. There'll be some fast times coming out from there. So once you're done watching us here, maybe head over and catch their live stream as well. Don James, want to watch Western Tempo, running well, dipped inside 40-20 just a few weeks ago at that Hercules Wimbledon night of 5,000. Jack Kavanagh, now for me, number 55, Kavanagh is one to watch. Might not have heard too much of him, but he won the podium in Dulwich back in April. Won that in just inside 14:09. Ran just outside 14 minutes at Bute Park during the winter. But he's had a track season where he's won race after race after race. And he's done a lot of national leagues. He hasn't really done any pace races. He's been front running. I think he ran a 14:20, by the way, in a national league, and that's impressive running. So I think he's in with a shout here. And look at the Emil Ingram brothers then. What fantastic to see. 3 from the same family here today, competed against one another, and it's starting to get pretty tasty, the rivalries between them, because they're all starting to just kind of get to that similar level. With Quinn, the youngster, really sort of proving himself on the mud this year. Went out to Belgrade, a fantastic World Cross Country campaign there, and he's backed that up this track season. Kedar Omar, never too far away from the front, is he? Especially not on UK soil. And Cruffro Smart, triathlete Dan Nash, Joe Morrow, Naftali Moulton as well, 2 Oxford lads. They'll have Jared Ward on their team this evening. They'll try and go for that team prize as well. They've come here with big hopes, big ambitions, certainly to sort of get around that 14:20 mark and below. Josh Rose in this one, Larry Ryan, Robbie Rigby, Matt Rees, looking up for him, the Welsh runner. Matt Ramsden, he's certainly an athlete to pay close order to as well, and a Blackburn Harrier. He wears bib number 94. He's the English champion over this distance, and championship titles, they still mean something, ladies and gentlemen. He's looking to prove why you should go and take your national championships seriously, your English championships. 13:48 is lifetime best, 8:04 over the 3,000, and he'll be wearing those Adidas colours in the black and pink. Andrew Penny, another man who's going to run for England, 14:00 his lifetime best. Oh, it's a torturous PB, isn't it? Hasn't broken the barrier yet, but another man who is in that same boat, Kurt Taylor, also a lifetime best of 14 minutes. One down at the Bristol Track Club Series a few weeks ago. So here we are then, this is almost all of them. Jared Ward down at the bottom of the page as well, wearing bib number 120. That man, 6th at the Rio Olympic Games over the marathon. He's got a 2:09 lifetime best. He's set to line up in New York as well, alongside his training partners Conor Manson, Clayton Young, and we know how good they are. Their exploits at the Olympics were quite something. Still behind Emil Caress, so we will plug British marathon running, but not a million miles behind the 2 Americans. There we all are in a packed start line here today. Now, a team also to look out for, BLT, I must mention them. They've been led by Escalante Phillips, and BLT, still not quite sure what it stands for. Jack Gray going to run for them as well. I think he's in his Cambridge and Coleridge colours, of course. Fiegel Curtin is a man that's worth noting and worth looking out for. He'll be wearing the Pontypridd colours, black and white checkered vest, and 61.45 his half marathon lifetime best. 13.34 over 5k, but hasn't raced, ladies and gentlemen, since March. So there we go. I've informed you of a few, not all. There's some very, very good CVs in this one. There's not enough airtime to get round them all, to be honest with you. Okay then, almost set to go here. Final race of the night, race 4 of 4, Sport Shoes Home Nations. Here at Bute Park, pushing and shoving at the start. It's going to be aggressive, it's going to be fast, and we're going to have a big old pack for a lot of this race. I know a few of the men sort of towards the rear feel delighted. All they got to do is just hang on. They haven't got to think too much. Up at the front though, slightly different. It'll be a slightly cagey affair. They'll be looking to sort of just eye each other up over this first lap. Tom Mortimer last year, by the way, did similar and then decided he was just going to go for it. 13.39, the course record. Georgie Gregg just missing it. I don't know if she had an eye on it or not, but ever so close with a pretty solo effort as well. Escalante Phillips, you can see, comes into this, by the way, in pretty good form. Back to his very best. 14.02 at the night of 5,000s in Wimbledon not too long ago. He's 4th there. Lifetime best in 13.56. He's going to do the early running. Angus McMillan for Scotland's in here as well. Now, that man just with the blonde hair, just tucking in behind Escalante Phillips over his right shoulder. That's Balvin Magnussen. 3:39, 1500 run, I believe. My research would suggest he is the fastest in the field over that distance. So if it comes to a kick finish, we'll look at him. 1500 runners don't always have a kick finish at the end of a 5,000, but if he can stay patient, stay relaxed, he's also a very good 5,000 metre runner. 13.42, by the way, 5th at that podium festival in March. That was a cracking run in pouring conditions then. And of course, we remember Agos Gebriwet taking that one. So Escalante Phillips looking good up front, just moving things along. Pack file in behind. You can see those England vests. Jack Kavanagh is a tall figure just the outside. Jack Gray, you're never always easy to spot that man. You just see him with those arms and the blue shorts. Cambridge and Coleridge coloured. Alex LePetra also running for Team England. Team England, by the way, also got an under-20 team out here. So giving a great opportunity to a lot of these youngsters. Richard Allen, far left. Another athlete that I think is worth identifying as he's just started to come to the fore. And you can see up at the front, Escalante Phillips just looking to settle down a little bit. And I think this is why these races are fast. We haven't got to have the pacemakers, but the thing is, when you've got all these men in a bundle like this, they're all going to take it in turns up at the front. They're going to force the pace. At any point, if anyone's suffering and they just want to have a little rest off the front, someone else will come to the front and push it on for you. So you're on that backstretch, you're approaching that slight downhill section of the course. Phil Norman, by the way, how could I not mention this man? British 3,000 metre steeplechase champion this year, 8.18, just ever so close to that Olympic standard. Would have felt he should have been in Paris. But it's encouraging to see him back racing. I know he's going to eye up a few steeples at the end of the season, providing he can make it. Start line awfully difficult this time of year for an athlete like him to get into one of these European circuit races. When you look at all those Olympians just looking to cash in at this stage and go line up and boost their world ranking points, and this is where we're starting to see athletes like Norman, when it comes to these world ranking points, be at a slight disadvantage. You just can't quite get in the races that you'd want to be in. But that track season talk, we're very much on the road now as we head into this road season. Of course, British 5,000 metre championships on the road will take place in a few weeks' time as well up in Newcastle. That'll be the trial, by the way, for those European road running championships, not till April. Here we are. So Norman, Allen, Magnussen, Escalante Phillips, all looking very, very smooth at this stage. Jack Goodwin's tucked in, and boy, oh boy, are these Adidas men to the fore so far. Rich Slade is in here as well. Look out for him. He's a 14.08 man at his best. Andrew Fightford, Scotland, 13.51. Fiegel Curtin just looking to ID Fiegel Curtin at this stage. Can't quite see him just yet, but he's a man who you would be looking, if he's in form, to sort of turn up here and possibly challenge for the win. Now, Rich Allen is a very, very good 5k runner, especially on the road. Spent a bit of time doing triathlons as well, and I just feel he's comfortable. This is where he is most comfortable. He's always a threat in these meetings. He was a former podium course record holder, in fact, and just always pretty strong out there. LePetre, you can see tucked in as well. There's Kavanagh on the outside. He's a good racer. Okay, what are we coming through this first lap or so in? Johnny Cornish is a little bit further back. I tell you what, that's Jacob Kahn, by the way. Look out for him, because he is in fine form, is Kahn. Knew him in Essex Beagles, man. I know he studied out in America, University of San Francisco. He's on the far left-hand side when he comes back to shop. But these are a few of the men further down, battling their PBs, all well inside. They'll be about the mile marker now, to be fair, so all well inside 5 minutes. So it's good running this early on in the race. Great to have such a competitive pack up front, though. £300, just to remind you, for the winner, 200 for second, and 100 for first. It's 100 for third, sorry. It's not about the individual prizes, though. More so about those team prizes, and Adidas looking to take all of them. Look at this thing, some athletes choosing to just go wide, stay to the flat surface, some happy enough to run on a camber. For the first time, and there he is, there's Vigil Curtin just up on the outside. Kahn, by the way, who I mentioned earlier, he ran 3:41 just a few days ago at Watford. That was a great performance for him, over 1500. He's really lowered his 1500 time, and he's a 13:53 man earlier on in the season. That was back in March in that collegiate season, and he's looking good up front with this pack. But no one looking to kind of get alongside Richard Allen at this stage. And you know, he's running smooth, he's very efficient, he's lovely to run behind, and I think they're just going to be happy with the work he's doing up at the front. Let this race unfold for a couple more Ks, and then we'll start to really get going. We'll start squeezing. So it's a few athletes just a little bit further back. Testing times for them look to be solo 6 or so minutes into this race, and not where you want to be in a 5,000. So no one looking to do any work yet, but leave Rich Allen out there to dry. And this is where you start to just think, will someone make a bit of a move? Will they sort of slingshot to the front? And when this move goes down, how hard will it be? There's a few men in this field who'll be running within themselves at this stage. And this is the fast section of the course as well. If you are going to make a move, it's probably the slightly better time to do it. You can really get some speed going, but you can see them just fanning across. So, and there he is, Ballard Magnussen, he's on the far right. Phil Norman's in there. Alex Malloy is also in there, he's running for BLT. Richard Allen in there. Phil Norman is also in this group, although I think he's just slipped back into the pack a little bit. Jacob Kahn now coming to the fore. Ballard Magnussen, it's all Adidas at this stage, it really is. And you can see Alex Malloy, he's wearing the half tights, looking very, very smooth is Malloy. Ed Blythen, by the way, another man who's just a little bit further back. Hennigan looking to just try and ID him at some point too. Ali Kinyock's running for Scotland, a few more in here as well. Stuart McCallum, former GB international on the cross country, look out for him. So these men, Vigil Curtin, and I tell you what, this is not a breakaway pack at the moment. This is just a pack. There's a whole host of men in behind them. Seen that a couple times already. When they take a turn, you'll see. So not breaking up at all in this race. I think there's going to be a lot of PBs if they can kind of hang. We've got 20 or so in this front group at this stage, and a few battles a little bit further down. It shows you how close. I mean, there's so many men who are sub 14 now, and we've probably got 10 or 15 in this race alone that are between that 13:30 to 14-minute range. I was speaking to Jack Goodwin beforehand, who ran a 13:35 on the track this season and looked very good. Had picked up a virus kind of after that around British Champs, has had a bit of time off, but getting back into it now and looking to potentially eye up the cross-country season. So Jacob Kahn just looking to move things along up the front. This is the first time kind of seeing him make a sort of distinctive move. He's awfully smooth, is Kahn. He is good at just kind of biding his time and just working his way through the field, but I can tell there's a few men in this pack who are itching to go, and I don't know if Kahn wants to make his move yet. More so looking around, and will potentially just be in a good position to respond to anyone that is going to kind of make a move with him. So Kahn up at the front, Falling in behind, that's Alex Malloy, good to see him. Jack Gray on the outside as well. Phil Norman just looking to see him swinging wide there, just driving the arms as they come round. We'll try and get a split marker on where they come round here. Well, there's Scott Halstead leading that chase group as well. He's looking very smooth at this stage. He's running well. He's been in and out of competition all season long. But a few of these men lapping their watches as they go through. Oh, shot final in the district as well. Might be Callum Charleston too. So, what are we, almost 10 minutes of running, so we've got about 4 minutes left of this race at this stage. Don't forget the cumulative times out there. I'm trying to ID a few of the teams. You know, how Wales getting on, how's Scotland getting on. 56:30, by the way, is that bounty time that these teams will be hunting towards. The reason being, well, it's an extra £400, it's an extra £100 each. Enjoy your night. But £800 for that team win as well. And there are no prizes. No prizes for second or third out here today. Okay, and that is a Oxford University vest up front. Definitely Jared Ward. I mentioned him before. The strength he's got. The 209 marathon runner. 6th in the Rio Olympic Games. It's great to see him at this stage, still in the race, this kind of late on. I know he competed in the People's Marathon, if you like, out in Paris at 9:30 at night. They ran on the course after the elites did, or the Olympians, if you like, in the morning. He went and won that in 2:24 on that hilly course. Bit of a just strong long run for him, and a bit of a shrug of the shoulder, no big deal. But he's getting competitive out here, and he's putting Oxford University amongst it. He's over. He's going to be in the UK for the next couple of years, studying for a master's degree. But we're getting some, so up at the front, just trying to ID a few of these men, seeing legs at the moment. So Jacob Kahn still in there, Balvin Magnuson as well. So we've got Kahn, Magnuson, Ward, Fiegel, Curtin still looking to pounce, looking to strike. He puts in a lot of laps on this course. Jack Gray in here as well. Kavanagh is someone who's got a good kick finish. He won in Podium Dulwich with that kick finish as well. So all these men so focusing up on the front. I do apologise, we haven't got any images at the moment, at the crucial point in the race. We're just losing footage. So we'll wait round now. I can peek out the van and try and bring you a little bit of info about this race. And they're going to be just approaching. We know they're in the crucial point. Here we are, and we can see things just opening up a little bit. Was that little glance at Jack Gray? Not sure if that's up at the front. There's Jacob Kahn as well. There's Jack Kavanagh, there's Fiegel Curtin. Is that Balvin Magnuson behind? So is this Kavanagh? He was a man I said, look out for this guy. If this is the front of the race, if we rejoin it at the crucial point, Escalante Phillips is giving chase. He's had some great dust-ups over 5K at these podium meetings up in Leicester a couple years ago. It's a fantastic run. He was right on that 14-minute mark once again. And just powering away up at the front. And this is Magnuson looking to really stretch things out. The Icelandic international. He's their record holder as well. He's a superb 1500 runner, superb 5000 runner as well. And I can see him now crowning that bend. He's got to take that bend well. Kavanagh will not go easy though. Kavanagh's been enjoying lots of solo runs over the 5,000 on the track this season. In the NALs, he's done 5,000s, 3,000. If he's ever there an advocate for a pure racer, he hasn't done a time trial race this season yet. He's in second place. These men are absolutely flying. Magnuson, Kavanagh there as well. Phil Norman's a little bit further back. Escalante Phillips going to the arms. Okay, we're going to get them now on that finish line. Course record, by the way, 13:39. We'll keep an eye as they crown that final weaving bend. We're going to be well inside 14 minutes here today. How much so? We will wait and find out. So these men, ladies and gentlemen, there he is. Magnuson's managed to hold it. He comes across the line. And second place, Kavanagh as well. And there we are, Escalante Phillips just come across. That's a lifetime best for him. Incredible running. Jacob Kahn sneaking a Fiegel Curtin inside 14. Jared Ward inside 14. I think we've got 6 or 7 men inside 14 there, ladies and gentlemen. How many more? Dan Nash, Jack Goodwin just outside, 14 minutes. And Andrew Penny coming across as well. Ali Kinlock, Hennigan, slightly disappointing performance from him after breaking 14 earlier in the year. Richard Allen, Joe Morris just sneaked a lifetime best as well. 14.22, that was a superb run. I'll keep an eye on a few of the others. Miles Weddesey just coming through, 14.30 odd. Some nice lifetime bests being cracked out here. Good running from all these men. So I do apologise for losing a little bit of the footage at the crucial point in that race. The guys here do a fantastic job. Signal not great at Bute Park. They're on bikes. We're making do to bring you this footage as much as possible. I do hope you've enjoyed the stream. I'm going to get out there and catch up with our race winner, Bowden Magnuson. Check in with him and his performance and what his thoughts are on this fantastic event. We hope to see you back in next year. If not next year, Podium Underground just around the corner. First weekend of September. Following that, Friday night under the lights, also going to take place on the 12th of September, I believe. Friday the 12th of September. And then we've got some great events coming up. The New Year's Eve Bash in Battersea Park as well. Of course, we're celebrating 10 years of Podium in November. So if you're interested in a fast road race, you know where to go. And we'll see you back here next time. First, let's go catch up with the race winner, Bowden Magnuson.